This video is for CAD 241 Exercise 2. I'm going to start this one the same way that I started the previous one, just by going to New and Part. The only thing I did differently this time was I did not actually name it first, which is something that you want to make sure that you do. I'm not saving these files, so it really doesn't matter whether I name them at first or not. This one here, again, I want to start from the front plane and click Sketch, and then Sketch again. I can now begin to actually create this sketch. It's 80 across and 40 tall, so I'll just draw a rectangle that matches that rough size. Okay, so here we have approximately 80 by 40. Okay, now I think I accidentally drew something small in down here, so I want to go ahead and delete that because I don't need it. Notice when I deleted that, it automatically showed that my object was highlighted. I didn't have to go back and do anything else because a rectangle is a closed loop. So I can change this to 80 and I can change this to 40. Now I'm going to add additional details into this, which may make it seem like it's a little bit more difficult, because as soon as I add the next rectangle in, it's going to lose the fact that it's shaded. My goal throughout this entire exercise is going to be to try to get it back to shaded with each new detail I add. So I'm going to put in a rectangle, which I will place right here, and I will get out of the rectangle command. Now, if you notice, it's shaded again, and this is not part of the extrusion. Now I can dimension this. I know that this is 10 from here, this is 10 from here, and again, it's just left click, middle click. And on this side it is 15. Okay, so now that sets me up, and I could go ahead and continue adding detail, but one of the things that you're going to want to try to do is make sure you keep your sketches simple. So in the best interest of simplicity, I'm going to go ahead and finish my sketch and create my first extrusion, which has a thickness of 40. With that done, I can now left click on here and do a new sketch on this face. And I'll click on sketch again. Now what I'm going to do is use the use command, select my top line and this bottom line right here, close that, and now I will draw two lines in. Line right there, middle click to start a new line right there, middle click twice. I'm out of the line command. I see a lot of open-ended points. Use delete segment to get rid of them. And that command, and you notice that I now have a shaded area to work with. So now I can come in here and I can put in the 30 dimension that this is, and if you take and do the math, you'll see that this is 20, so I can type in 20. I now have a finished sketch. I can finish that and go back to extrude. The difference this time up here in the extrude, instead of it being a distance, I'm going to set it to go through all. And I need to look very carefully, make sure I see which way the arrow is going. I want the arrow to go the opposite way, so I can left click on the arrow and it'll change it, or I can use this button right here to toggle back and forth. And then I want to click on this button here, which is remove material. That way it actually cuts the material out. Now I can hit the checkbox and you see that it cuts out that groove. My next step is going to be to left click on this face, do a new sketch, and again I'm going to use the use command, and I'm going to use this and this. We'll close that out and we'll add the two lines in that I need for the other groove. So we've got that line right there and then another line right here. Go to my delete segments tool, delete the segments that I do not need in this particular instance, and now I can see that that is nice and shaded. I can continue to work with that. This is up 15, this is up 10. I can now finish my sketch, extrude, and again this has a termination distance. You can do a lot of the stuff right here just by modifying the values that you have. I can change this to 20, click the arrow, and now you see that it's going in 20, but I still want to make sure I come up here and hit removing material. What you'll notice is if you can see in the video, there's slight shading here. That's what you get when you have material being added. When I click on remove material, you'll see that there is no shading over here, which lets me know that this material is being removed. Once I hit the green checkbox, it cuts that groove in. And this is exercise 2.